Hi guys, it's Hot Mess Mama coming to you live from Greenville, North Carolina. It is Monday. It is, I don't know, I just got a new watch and I can't even get it to function yet because it's one of those Apple watches and yeah, I don't know. It's sometime. It's after 3 and I'm late again and I apologize, but it is Monday. And I believe it's the 26th of March. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about and ask you questions and get some guidance and some advice on shopping with kids. Okay. I was thinking about this just the last couple of days because I've been, having to go shopping with my two little kids, my, 2-year-old and my 6-year-old. And like, where this all stemmed from was like, okay, my kids adore those huge shopping carts that are like cars, that they're decorated like cars and they're ginormous. It's like pushing a boat around the store. And I was thinking to myself, why, like what possessed a company to design these carts, and what is the purpose of them being so large, and like why do our kids want them so badly? And like they, in theory they sound great because your kids feel entertained because they feel like they're driving a car, or it gives a little bit of entertainment value to your shopping experience, but as a mother it only entertains them for about 30 seconds, and then you got to push this huge cart around the store. It's like a boat and you can barely maneuver around it and your kids are still running around, and I'm thinking to myself, what is the point of it? I bet you. And so I did some research, and apparently like they thought it would be safer because they're heavier and they won't topple, and then they thought, it also will entertain the kids and keep them staying put in the cart, but in reality they're just harder to push, and they still are not very safe because kids are still launching themselves out of it. They are way filthier, dirtier than your standard grocery cart. And so, and they just cause havoc for moms at the store. And they've got them everywhere. They got them at Lowe's, they've got them at your grocery store, they got them at Walmart. It's just, so that's where this whole thing is stemming from. So this whole oversized cart thing. And I didn't even think about this until I did some research into like the purpose and like of the carts and like where they came from and why they're so big. But like they're intended for moms of large families. So when you go to a store and they only have, a handful of those in inventory, those big car carts, if you're just with one kid, like don't take the cart, because those are supposed to be for families that are larger. Like think about those moms that have like 4 or 5 kids. That's the only way that she can get her shopping done and keep all the kids in check, right? So like think about that. Like you're thinking, okay, this will keep my one kid entertained for 30 seconds. This is gonna be a make or break for a mom that has a big family. And I didn't even think of that until I read this article. So now I'm gonna think twice, even if there are carts available, about taking them away from someone who could need them way more than I did. But so I digress. So you want to park, you're thinking to yourself, okay, how can I make this experience, in and out fast and like drama free? Well, they tell you, you want to park close to the entrance. No, you don't want to park close to the entrance. You want to, as a mom, you want to park close to that cart return, because you don't want to be like having to, drop all your groceries off in your car with your kids and then haul your cart all the way down to aisle 72 where the car corral cart, the car cart caddy places are, leaving your kids in the car. No. And then you don't want to abandon that cart either. So like you want to park next to a cart corral, right? Lots of people don't want to do that because they don't want to get their cars done up, or they think it's better to park closer to the entrance. But for a mom, it's all about parking closer to that cart return. But they all now they have in some of these stores, they have like designated parking that is closer to the front for expectant mothers or mothers with children or veterans. I always feel bad taking those spots. I never would take a veteran spot. But like I always felt bad as a mom taking that spot, or even as an expectant mother, because I always felt like there was someone that needed it more than I did. But now in retrospect, I should have taken advantage of that stuff, right? I should have when I could have. So they tell you to kind of park closer. Then like you get into, then you have the drama over what cart you picked. Then you get into the store and you got to wipe the daylights down on those carts, right? And a lot of these stores they provide like sanitizing wipes when you come in, right? But then you're getting into the store and you're like, okay, how can I get this done without a whole lot of drama? They suggest that you just could do the perimeter of these grocery stores. Don't even go to the aisles if you don't have to, because the perimeter is basically milk and dairy, produce and flowers, and like, meats and cheeses, and maybe even some frozen stuff. But the middle aisles is where all the kids' stuff is. It's all the junk. It's like the chips and the cereal and the candy and like all the processed foods and macaroni and cheese and all of that stuff is in the middle aisles. So they say to avoid fits of your children, saying, I want this mac and cheese. No, I want this juice. No, I want that. Just stick to the perimeter and get, you know, the stuff that's in the perimeter. And then if you have to, then go to the middle aisles, but, you know, kind of just do that down and dirty fast, but do most of your shopping in the perimeter. And they say, you know, that you want to try, for kids that are under a year old, like limit your visit to like 30 minutes. That's what they say. And they say after they're like a year old or so that they can go upwards of an hour. See, I think it's different. Like when my kid was under a year old, they were still in that bucket and they couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't do anything. They just sat in the bucket, in their little car seat bucket. So I disagree with that entirely. And then there's this whole school of thought that moms are like, I bypass the cart entirely. I just bring my stroller and I but that's good if you got one kid. And that's good if you're only buying like, you know, a gallon of milk, because you can't really put much else in a stroller, right? But, you know, some moms are like, you know what, that's fine. Then I'll just have to come back to the store, you know, 3 times a week instead of 1 time a week. But, you know, at least that way it's more manageable. Well, hey, you know, whatever works. But I could never really do that. I always had to like just put my kid, you know, in the bucket, like I said, and in the cart and go as much as I could, right? Oh, I know, right? Holy frustration. And then, you know, then there's these moms that are saying that, you know what you need to do? There's these 10 steps about what you can do to try to keep your kids from, you know, melting down in the store. Okay, you can give me 100 tips. None of that crap is going to work. It's all pie in the sky stuff, to be perfectly honest. You know, too, and I get really scared when I have my kids are like literally dangling off the carts. And by then I'm thinking to myself, I'd rather have you dangling off the carts than running through the store, right? You know, and I see those moms that put their car seat buckets on top of the carts, and I think, oh my gosh, the thing's gonna fall right over and that kid's gonna fall out. And then I see the kid, you know, I see my kids just literally like hanging on the carts, laying on the bottom shelf of the carts, riding them like a, you know, pushing them like riding like it's a toy. But I'm like, ooh, you know, and I get freaked out, but I'm like, I just got to do this fast, right? Like deep breaths when you're in the store. But then there's, like I said, there's these moms that kind of just think, that they say, oh, we've got these methods and this is what you need to do. You need to have a pre-talk with them before you go into the store to set expectations about behavior. Then when you get in the store, you know, you need to make sure that they're obeying by all the things that you talked about in the pre-talk. And then you need to, you know, have snacks and maybe devices and books and toys. And I'm thinking to myself, none of that stuff occupies them for more than 30 seconds. Like I could barely get a thing of bananas before my kids are darting down the aisles. Have you ever had an Amber Alert? I have never had an Amber Alert in a grocery store or a Walmart or anything, but like I think I would be terrified if I have. You know, I don't know what I would do if I had an Amber Alert in one of those stores, because usually like a nice mother would be like, nope, I just saw your daughter running down aisle 16. She had like, you know, she was eating a bag of chips. Or no, I saw your son. He was over up at the registers. He was, you know, talking to someone up at the registers. So like I've been really fortunate that there have been other moms or other parents or other patrons that have been able to, you know, help me if my kids kind of got loose or whatever. But then you have those patrons that are just nasty. They're mean to you, you know, like you have like, and they expect you to have some kind of control over this out of control situation. And, you know, like they've never had kids before. Maybe they haven't, or, you know, they talk about how they never would have let their kids do that in their day, or my grandkids never do that. And I'm thinking to myself, bullshit. You may not have ever seen your grandkids do that, but I will bet my bottom dollar that they've done it. They're probably doing it right now. But then you go into those stores that have samples and you're like, ooh, should I let my kids eat the samples? Like if it's the one where you like have to open the dome and like find your own samples and eat them yourself, but you think, oh gosh, like everyone and their brother has touched those samples. And then you think, well, you know, if you go to the bakery, you ask for a cookie, you know, like at Sam's Club or whatever, like the little bakery lady goes in there with her gloves and she pulls out a cookie and hands you one. That's a little bit more sanitary, but I don't know, it's not very healthy. Like a cookie or like, you know, a cookie from the bakery lady, or like a piece of cheese from the deli that everybody else has touched. It's like, you know, and I remember like in the days when I would go to Harris Teeter, our grocery store, and they would have like a little dome for ham and a little dome for cheese, and they had bread and butter over on like by the bakery, and then they had fruit smattered all over in these domes throughout the produce section. And it was like a full-on meal for my kids. It was like lunch at the Harris Teeter, right? Because that was how you got your shopping done and you got your kids. How terrible is that, right? But it's reality. You know, but then, like I said, you know, you just get these horrible, dirty looks from these people. And you just, you know, just got to mom power on and hope that there's some other moms in the store that can kind of just at least sympathize with you, or, you know, kind of just just, help your mom on, or, hopefully you have a partner that you can go shopping with, because, tag team, sometimes that helps. Sometimes it's just even worse because your partner doesn't even help at all and you're like ripping your hair out, right? Or your partner is looking at automotive equipment while your kids are, literally climbing the shelves. My daughter loves to rip tags off of things. So like she'll find a bunny with a little tag, she'll rip the tag off. I'm like, no, don't rip the tag off now that they can't. Then they can't really resell it unless you reattach those tags. That just, or like, the kids will open up bags of chips in the aisles and eat them, or like, go to the candy aisle. I saw my daughter the other day who literally like grabbed like a chocolate Cadbury egg and unfoiled it and was eating it in the checkout aisle. I'm like, oh, this is so not fun, right? But then they say things like, what you want to do is, at the beginning of the shopping excursion, you kind of want to give them a bribe, or like a non-bribe bribe. So what you do is you kind of say, we're going to go shopping today, and if you obey all the rules that we talked about in our pre-shopping talk, then at the end, if we have time, you can go and look. We're not going to purchase, but you can go and look in the toy aisle. And if you start saying you want something from the toy aisle, we are going to leave immediately. You're not going to get anything, but you can look. And I'm thinking to myself, that would never fly. That would never fly. For the entire shopping trip, my kids would be going, can we go to the toys now? Can we go to toys now? Can we go to toys now? Can we go to toys now? And then we'd get to the toys and they'd say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But no, I have a feeling it would never, ever work. I'd be willing to try it, but I've tried a version of that, and it didn't keep them calm and in the cart for the 20 minutes that I needed to get my shopping stuff done. Candy. I mean, that's basically the only thing that I've been able to do to keep them still. And even then, they're running around the aisles. I usually be like, okay, you need to sit in the cart, and here's your lollipop, right? I have a bag full of lollipops. Sometimes that works. And sometimes the whole we'll go look at the toys in a minute works, but then they want the toys. I know, it's just like such a freak show, right? And then you get to the checkout aisle, and you're like my daughter wants to rip all the magazines down off of the kiosk, and she wants to eat the candy, and my son wants to use the scanner gun, and he likes to play with the turnstile that makes your groceries go around and around. I'm like, oh, yeah. And again, you get the dirty looks, but what can you do? And then you're like, do I go to the express lane? Should I just dump a couple items to get to the express lane, or should I just do a self-checkout, or should I just go to the regular lines? And they say that the express lanes they've done statistically, they're not any faster than a regular lane. So go to the regular lanes, moms, because they're not going to be any faster in an express lane. So then you're supposed to get your kids in the car happily, load them into their car seats with all of your groceries, and then get in the car and thank them for their behaving, and then give them a report card about how they did, how well they behaved in the store. I'm looking at this and going, this is so Pollyanna. What mother wrote this? Was it 1940 when she wrote it? Because there's no way that stuff is going to fly. No way that stuff's going to fly. So I've never been a really big proponent of it before, but the online shopping where Walmart or Harris Teeter or, Sam's Club or some of those stores, I don't even know if Target does it yet, but we're you can go and order your groceries or your stuff online, and they shop for you, and you literally pull up and you text them that you're there or whatever, or you app them, use your app and say that I'm here and at the designated time for your pickup, and they bring all the groceries out to you. You don't even have to go in the store. They bring them out to your car, they load your car, and you pay for it right there, or you can prepay for it. But sometimes they don't have all the items that you put in your electronic online shopping cart, so they have to do substitutions or whatever. So you just literally they load your cart right there curbside. It's gorgeous and it's wonderful, but you can't always buy everything that you need online. If I needed sheets, or I needed a picture frame, or I needed boxer shorts or something like that, you're limited to what you can buy online for curbside pickup, and you can't pick up same day. So if you're dude, I need milk and cheese, I need to get it right now, you have to go and get it. You cannot literally, if you're going to buy it online today, you can't pick it up until the next day, and you have to have, it's a $30 limit, so you have to have at least $30 worth of groceries. So today when I went to Walmart, I had to go into the store because there were certain items that I was not allowed to purchase online for in-store pickup or curbside pickup. So I had to purchase those 2 or 3 items that I couldn't purchase, online. And then I had to go in the drive up to get the rest of my groceries. So it was an interesting day at the Walmart. But so I was thinking about all that. I'm I've never been a really huge lover of the drive up, but I'm starting to love it more and more. It just, you really have to do a little bit of pre-planning because, like I said, you can't get this stuff same day, and it is super helpful for a mom to be able to literally just, or you don't even, if you order it online, you don't even have to pick it up yourself. You could send out your neighbor to go pick it up because you prepay for it pretty much. And then they just go and they say, hey, I'm here for the, Smith groceries and they load your car and you're gone. And it's all prepaid on my credit card. So your friend doesn't have to, it's pretty amazing. But like, then there's that part of me where you're like, well, sometimes it's just good to get the kids out and you even get them and let them look at the toys or whatever. And yeah, I know it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. I'm starting to really love this, like curbside shopping a lot as my kids are getting older and terrorizing me in the stores. So put up with the dirty looks, Mom. Buy yourself a bag of lollipops. Give them your iPhone if you have to. And just push on. And I hope that you don't have an Amber Alert. I've never had one. I would really like your advice if any one of you have had them and how you handled it. Yeah. And avoid the car carts. Avoid the car carts. Yeah. Do what you have to survive. Do what you have to survive. You know what would make this whole shopping experience so much better? If we could have cocktails when we shopped. Right? Right? Like if we could have a cocktail as we walk through the store. And if we could have like tracking devices on all of our children so we knew where they were at all times. Or if they could, like if they were like almost like, I know it sounds terrible, but like a buzzer collar on our kids or a bracelet or something that if they went too far outside of my perimeter that they would get a little, you're going too far. I could think of a whole bunch of stuff that we could do to keep our kids closer to us at the grocery store, but probably wouldn't be very safe or legal. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. All right, well, y'all, enjoy your days at the shopping of the grocery stores, the Walmarts, the big box Sam's and Costco's. Hang in there. It's rough. It's rough out there. But let me know. Send some tips and tricks in here about like what you do to keep your kids and keep yourself sane in those shopping experiences. Or some things that you've seen that you were like, wow, that's brilliant. Or some things that you've seen and you go, whoa, that's crazy and that's dangerous, right? Or maybe you've had an experience where you had an Amber Alert, or you've had a bad experience or a good experience. Tell me about those, because that will entice me to continue shopping with children. It's almost worth paying for a babysitter. Sometimes, for you to go grocery shopping by yourself. All right, guys, have a great Monday. I'll be thinking about you as the day closes. Can't wait for Monday to close. And I'll probably be back here in another few days. When do I do it? I usually do another broadcast in another couple of days. Probably Thursday or something. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Thursday. I might be doing some hacks on Thursday. Maybe there'll be some hacks about shopping. Give me some ideas. I will put them into a hack list. All right, guys, have a great day.